What? Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And welcome to this episode of Discussions with Daz. Today, I have either made a grave mistake or not. We'll find out as this episode goes on. But I will introduce you to some, you guys in the community, you know him. He's heard you guys call him the man, the myth, the legend. But to me, he's a friend, and that's Sean Stackhouse. We got him here today. Stax, welcome to the show. How you doing?
It is great to be here, Daz. Thanks for having me. I'm doing absolutely fantastic, and I'm relieved to be back home for a few days before another trip out to Rival Series.
Yeah, rival series, man. Why don't let's just jump right into that, right?
All right.
So you were with the broadcast team for the play-ins. What was it like being able to work with some of the RLCS casters?
Well, you really gain kind of a new appreciation for them once you see them work up close. I'm sure you've seen Axel pretty close because I think he's done a few things in the Chicago area. But being able to cast with James, I was supposed to cast with James a while back at like a Rocket Royale, and it never happened. Right. And so to finally be able to cast with him on the play-ins, even though it was one series. Really learned a lot, and Axel, absolute professional. Wavepunk is a very, very good commentator. Even better when you're able to kind of hang around in the studio with him and see him when he's really put on his game face. So seeing all those guys, working with them, absolutely great.
Nice. And then last week was the first weekend, first Friday, I'd say, of the Rival Series. And real quick, let's just do a quick recap. So, in terms of teams that had very good debuts, at least in North America, Splice going 2-0, Peeps also 2-0. One of those wins was over the Haas's. Now, Haas is off to a rough start after qualifying. A lot of people expected them to come out and beat the Peeps, but Explosive Gyro and friends definitely had something to say about that, huh?
Oh, they did, yeah. The Peeps, definitely the best story out of either North America or Europe because, again, these guys, we kept harping on it. They have no RLCS or Rival Series experience at all. The closest they've gotten was, I think they were a match or two away from making it in previous seasons. So for them to show up in a big way, they get obviously their first win over Applesauce was not nearly as big an upset as their second win because I think just like you, a lot of people expected the Hosses just to walk over everybody. They're too good. They will accidentally make the promotion tournament just by showing up. And right. The Peeps really punched them in the mouth, and it's a big statement.
Yeah, it definitely is. To be fair to them, to the Hosses was a 5-game series.
It was
pretty close, but Peeps definitely came to play. I think the other
quick story though. Achieves was there for the for that first week of Rival Series. He was in the green room with us, and so Subi, Achieves, and I are watching the stream, and the internet at NGE was a little choppy near the end of that series. So as I think it was Pirate just scoring that game winner, the stream keeps cutting out. So you just see Pirates jump, the stream stops. Another few frames, he makes contact, stream stops. It cuts to you see Chrome jump, stream stops again, and we're all just losing our minds. It was like a really bad football commercial, and then finally you just see Pirates scored, and we all just jump up, and if anybody was working in the studio, we disrupted them because we were so loud, we just loved it.
Oh man, that's good. That's really good. No, a lot of people, us at home, especially the guys at Rocket League Central at the TS, were really excited to see the Peeps take that one. It was again, their way here has been a lot of work.
It has been, yeah.
It's finally starting to pay off as well from the take. Again, man, with these, I believe it's how many matches do they play total? 7?
Yes, play everybody else in the league, so 7. I think everybody's got 5 on stream, and then most of them, actually, I think all of the off-stream matches are this week. Some tonight, but they won't be shown.
Right, all right. Is one of those going to be Brett's debut match?
Yeah, Bread's debut match is tonight. I think they play the Peeps. If not tonight, they play them later on this week, but I don't think it's a stream match.
Mm.
I would have to double check, which, again, with the power of the internet, I can do right now. Nope, that's RLCS. We'll probably see a couple of those teams next season. Yeah, Bread.
Oh boy.
Bread is on stream against the Peeps this Friday, but they are scheduled for 2 tonight as well.
Okay. Well, okay, that's good. So they'll have. Oh, so they have. Oh wow, they have 2 off-stream matches tonight.
Yes.
Ah, that's
yeah. They play Applesauce and the Magicians tonight because they also had one of their matches rescheduled because of the storm. I think it was Sathu that would not have been able to play. So the teams were willing to move that match around. Yeah, which I think it's great. As competitive as this is, it's nice to see a little bit of sportsmanship and the human side of these players come out.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It probably should be highlighted a little bit more, but it is a big deal that again, like the league format currently for both RLCS and Rival Series is really cutthroat, so to speak.
It is.
So the fact that people are giving them another day to play, like you could easily just take that the wrong way and just think about yourself and like push for something else, but everyone was able to come to an agreement so that everyone's essentially at the end of the day happy. They can still play. I think Bread playing their first 2 matches off stream is a big deal though, especially because it's 2 matches,
Yep.
And that'll easily shake up the standings. They don't have that kind of like on stream pressure to start off their rival series, and if they could easily, like, if they play better off stream, then I could see Applesauce going on 3 and Magicians going on 2 if they're not ready. Because Bread, I mean, that's one of the teams everyone's been waiting to see. They've been really strong.
Well, yeah, they were the #1 team from the play-in, and it would have been great to see them in the first week. Of course, we were supposed to see them in the first week on stream. I really do want to see them play the Peeps, though. I mean, the Peeps are better than anybody thought they would be. Bread is a team that everybody expects to be good. So, it's just kind of conflicting expectations when in reality the Peeps are, probably at least as good as Bread. And I think that will be, just at a glance, that will probably be the series in North America on Friday.
Yeah, I could see that being like the match of the week for NA, at least, so to speak. Other 2 teams we haven't seen yet are Compadres and Manhattan. Do you know when they play? Do they play their first matches off stream as well?
They do. Compadres, they play the Peeps, scheduled for tonight, according to Liquipedia. And they also play 2 off-stream matches during the week. And then they're going to play their first match on stream against Splice on Friday. That'll be the very first match that we have Friday afternoon. So that should be a lot of fun. I think both Splice matches are going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Because they play the Compadres and then the Hosses on Friday. They start and end the stream.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and they've again, impressive start for Team Splice so far. They've already gotten 2 wins in, which I believe, what was their record last season? It was not good.
2-5. We're talking about Splice.
Okay, so they're set to drop every other game. We already know how this is gonna go.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. It's this is a much different Splice team. Like you could just tell they're more driven. They were, and really they had kind of one play that was really their bread and butter through last week. It was just throw it up near the backboard. Someone cuts along the back line and just does one of those drop down passes right in front. They use the tires to drop it down to whoever threw it up initially, right. And they just follow that for a shot. They did that. I think at least 3 times during the matches on Friday, and it worked to perfection just about every time.
Yeah, so they're good. They're getting comfortable.
Oh yeah. They a lot has been made of the practice or the training packs that they have put together. I think Karma does a lot of work with them in that regard, and a lot of them are for passes. And I think you're going to see something. You probably see something new every week. I think they've got a wide range of tricks that they can pull out of their sleeve.
Yeah, that's grind time for them. And then regardless, they have Super Sub Dapper to come in, but that's pretty much it for EU this week. I believe this is gonna be week 2 for Rival Series, week 3 for
Yes.
RLCS.
Yep.
But week 2 is definitely gonna be a big week. We're gonna move to RLCS in a bit, but first we want to talk about the EU portion of Rival Series. I mean, we had some interesting openings. The only one that's pretty major is Excel dropping two games for their first week. Everyone else kind of was just Method had went 1-1. We got
Yep.
three one game, like we got a 3-way tie for first between Clappers, Norviden, and Savage, and we
Yep.
haven't seen Secret or Triple Trouble hit the pitch yet.
Right. Yeah, and Secret and Triple Trouble, I think, are the teams that people might have wanted to see the most. Actually, probably Savage. Savage is a team everybody wanted to see, but Secret and Triple Trouble are the teams I want to see because I want to see how they've changed from season to season. And, I am kind of secretly a mark for Freaky, so uh, really excited to. I mean, it sucks that he is down in the Rival Series now because I absolutely believe he's an RLCS talent, but it's great for us. It's great for me because I get to see and cast some of his matches. I think Secret are going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm honestly interested into seeing how well they do. Jorby in chat saying they played 3 games this week, so we'll have
Yes,
definitely a lot of results for Secret. This is actually a big week. They play
they
half their
play
matches.
they play 4 actually. Uh,
They play half their matches in one
yeah,
week.
yeah, they play Method and Excel off stream.
Mm-mm.
Boy, Excel is not on stream this week, by the way, and that's probably going to be good for them because after last week, I wouldn't want to be on stream. Like they need to get something rolling quick. But on stream, we've got Nordavind in Secret and Triple Trouble in Secret. Just gonna be, those are 2 matches that very well could go 5 games. There's not a bad match on stream this week, by the way. Like when you look at who's playing, Secret Nordavind, Method Clappers, Savage Nordavind, Secret Triple Trouble. Whew. It's
Yeah,
gonna be fun.
yeah, definitely so. And again, big week, especially for Secret coming into this week. They basically have to make sure they got the best week of their life, because
Yeah, yeah,
they want to come out of that 4-0. That would do wonders for them for the rest of basically the Rival Series. So big week for Secret. Also keep an eye on some other teams and how they play in the results. We're gonna move on. Have you been able to watch RLCS matches?
I got to watch very little of North America. I mean, I watched the first week because we didn't have Rival Series, but very little of North America this weekend. I caught enough to see Leaf make his debut.
Right.
That was absolutely worth buying the Wi-Fi on the plane for. And yeah, so I saw a little bit of North America and watched most of Europe.
Okay. I oh man. So here's my little story. I had planned on making a video
Okay.
about it was gonna be like a live reactions video to the matches are going on. And like as some of you know, I'm slowly starting to become addicted to Destiny 2 again. So they were
Uh-oh.
doing like desk analysis work while I was recording, and I saw a tweet from one of the content creators, and I was like, "What are they talking about?" I go on I go on their Reddit, and then I just get sucked into everything, and I'm looking back at the video, and I just see me, I'm like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I'm grabbing my PlayStation controller, turning on my PlayStation, I'm like, "Oh my god!" It was so nuts. So I haven't seen those matches yet because of that. And I kind of am waiting to, because I still might try to like record and put out like a video anyways. So I haven't seen too much of that. But if we look at the current standings, C9 are okay. There are 3 undefeated teams. Obviously, top 3: Cloud9, G2, and NRG. C9 taking first place because they've played more than NRG and G2. Right now, I mean, this is kind of looking on par. Like if I'm looking at like the overall standings, everything looks like the same as last season. Only difference is Allegiance are 1-2 and Rogue are 0-2. FlyQuest actually undefeated so far. And
You mean winless?
what?
You said FlyQuest undefeated. They are Instead, they are winless.
Yes, that's what I meant. Oh my god. Thank you. I was using that word too much. Don't do this to me. Okay. But yeah, they're winless. They're at 8th place. Rogue, I haven't picked up a win yet. Allegiance actually kind of shocking everyone with they only won over FlyQuest, but in week 2 they dropped to who did they drop to? G2 and NRG, which are some pretty tough matches. So we'll see how they fare. Oh man, next week they go against Cloud9. That's a rough one. Ghost against G2. Ghosts have always been known as G2 killers, but that's usually when they had classics on their team. We'll see how they do with memory.
They should have beat Cloud9 too. I was able to watch that match on the plane. Man, they're gonna be kicking themselves over that one.
Yeah.
Ghost.
Yeah. I'm looking at all their series. All their series win, like every series they've played in RLCS has gone 5 games.
Yeah.
That's rough.
The Iron Men.
Yep. So I mean, let's see. Against G2, they play G2 and NRG next week. So yeah, we're really gonna see how their marathon running works then, to see if they can pull out 5-game series from both those teams. But they have to do good next week. If they go 1-4 if they go 1-4 at the end of next week, it's gonna be bad. And especially since
it could be, but I mean, all you got to do is finish top 6, and you put yourself at least on the dance floor. All you got to do is win one match. You go to Vegas.
Yep. Let's see. In terms of their competition, Allegiance play Cloud9, so Allegiance could drop to 1-3. I mean, if we're going by projections. FlyQuest playing EG is going to be a pretty good one to see how they stack against the EG roster. They could probably pull out a win and save themselves from being last place and go 1-3. Rogue play G2. Rogue, again, another team that really needs a win. But G2 have been looking as dominant as ever, so I don't really see them dropping that one. And Rogue have looked sloppy. They look better against Ghost.
Well, yeah, and G2, they're going to have, a series or two where you just kind of look at them and go, that's the same G2 that we just saw last week.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, they're good for 1 or 2 of those every season, but they're going to win more than they lose, easily.
Yeah. So there'll be a lot, like, basically after this week, there's a lot of, playoff predictions are going to start popping up. Because after week 3, you got about half the match, half the season's up. So people are going to start looking at, who's going to go where, who has to do what in order to get playoffs, this, that, and the other thing. So that's an A.
Yeah, there are no surprises in North America either. I mean, honestly, top 3 teams that are undefeated, you expected them to be at the top of the standings, if not undefeated. Evil Geniuses, I think everybody accepts that they are, on paper, the next team. I guess Allegiance playing NRG as close as they did would be the big surprise. Ghost, Allegiance, Rogue, FlyQuest, they're all in that. Everybody kind of thought they'd be the bottom half of North America, and they are. So, no surprises at all. Yeah.
Now, we're going to move on to the region that's full of surprises, which is going to be the Europe region. We're going to go ahead and take a look at their guys. I mean, look, top 3 in Europe is Team Dignitas, obvious, Weedham Girls, and Mouse Esports. Just that top 3, right? It's just like, Well, it makes you look again. You do a double take, like, wait, what?
Yeah, because, Weedham, like, Metsonoris, love the guy. I never felt like he was, a huge part of complexity. I always thought, if there was a place where they could find somebody better, then Metza would probably be the guy they replaced, even though the crowd in London just went absolutely nuts for him. Maybe that's because I had him on my fantasy team for most of a season, and he tanked for me. So maybe I'm bitter, but he comes over to Weedham Girls, and it's just a perfect fit. And I think that kind of underlines the importance of team chemistry. They could have found somebody who's probably overall a better player, but not a better fit. on that team
Right.
for Weedham Girls, and as soon as they get signed by an org, they'll have a better name and they'll be right near the top of the standings. Even still, I think they could go 5-2.
Yeah, I can see it. They're very strong. Wins against Flipside last week, and then they Metanore's taking down his old team Complexity 3-0.
Yep.
And then they dropped first to PSG, which was after PSG had lost earlier in the day to Flipside. Yes. Flipside's still in contentions. PSG now 1-2. Everyone wanted to see how well Mouse would do against Dignitas. Dignitas won 1-3. Can I look at that scoreline? Let's see. Mouse actually took the first game, and then Dig came back, but it seemed like it was pretty close. The only game that it was over 2 goals was game number 3, but game 2 and game 4 both went into OT, and Dig obviously won by 1 goal. So Mouse is they're still keeping up with Dig. They can't slay the beast just yet, but
nobody can.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Dig seem to have an easy next week too. They face Flipside and PSG. Now, Flipside maybe could pull up a little bit of a fight if they're on their game. I have a little bit of faith in Mizzy, but it's almost safe to say I definitely call them winning against PSG. But
Dignitas, I mean, they're scary. They may actually just go undefeated from start of the season right through the World Championship.
Yeah, that's
like that is certainly on the table and not a stretch by any means.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely interesting to just like watch them and figure stuff out. Turbo loves lands more than he does league play. He tweeted after the match against Mouse. He was like, "League play always makes me nervous. Can we hurry and play lands so I can just beat everybody?"
Well, I mean, he missed a sitter in that match earlier on Sunday. So, I mean, it happens, but they still won pretty comfortably.
No, big talk. Well, I won't say big talk because it's not really big talk, but like Fnatic versus Vitality. Fnatic won. Series went 5 games. No overtimes. It was 3-1, 3-0. Then a couple of games won after that where it was the 3-2s, and then at Champions Field, Fnatic closed out the series. So Fnatic able to salvage the record a little bit, 1-2, but Vitality at 8th place. And this was the team everyone was hyping up before the season had started, with the bring on of Scrub Killa, and it hasn't been working so far. They've been making memes off of their rotation stacks.
Yeah, and they could not have looked any worse in those first 2 games, really first 2.5 games against Fnatic. And finally Pashi kind of took over and at least dragged them back into the series, but it was just too much from Fnatic. And the problem right now with Vitality is just they I don't know if that it's the same kind of issue that Rogue has. I mean, Rogue has just a trust issue, period. I think everybody on Vitality understands what each other is capable of. It's just sometimes, man, they must not be communicating, or I can't imagine they're ignoring each other. I really think it's just lacking in communication, and that's when you see those god awful rotations. I mean, that looked like G3 level.
We ain't gonna talk about G3 right now. Oh God, we got shots. Oh, can you see me hiding? I'm hiding right now because we got shots. Okay. But no, what had happened? I think it's kind of like the opposite of the We Them Girls thing. How I feel like you had said earlier, We Them Girls probably could have got a better overall player, but they went for that team chemistry. Where you would think the team chemistry would be there with Vitality, but they're all like quote. They're all good on paper. I mean, someone probably can make an argument against Pashi, but in terms of Scrub and Fairy Peak, everyone's like, these guys are your guys if you need something to get done. But they're both trying to get something done, right? We saw one play, they both went up for the same ball. And Fairy has visual of Scrub in front of him, and he still goes up. And I was just like, oh, okay.
It also kind of hurts because, like, Pashi's been one of my favorite players for a long, long time. And just like I've always admired how he competes, how he always seems to get up for big moments, and I saw him miss shots that he doesn't normally miss, and he missed them badly. and I wonder if he's just a player that's maybe on the back end, and maybe about to ride off into the sunset. I would hope not, but man, just to see those types of misses, it's like that's not the Pesci I remember.
Right, yeah. So it's not looking good for them. They play against PSG and Complexity next week, and they need to win those games. If they don't,
Yes.
they'll go 0-4. And these next 2 weeks will not be pretty for them, as they will have to fight for their lives. If there's any time to fight, it's right now against PSG and Complexity. Complexity are currently 1-1. They play against Mouse. I actually think Mouse can take that series next week.
Yeah, absolutely. This Mouse team they are okay. Let's put it that way. Tigray is just phenomenal, and he has really showed up to play in the RLCS, and a lot of people expected he would. When you look back at some of like the advanced stats from the rival series last season, shout out to Sluck, by the way, who's just absolutely awesome. You could tell based on what metrics you wanted to use, like he was one of the most efficient players in the league, and he's showing exactly how good he is now in the RLCS.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah. Again, they play first match of the day for Europe this weekend. Then afterwards, Vitality are going to face PSG. That's going to be a big one for both teams. Yeah, because they both play 2 matches, and they're both going to want to start off the day on the right foot, because their next matches are a little bit harder than the first. Vitality facing Complexity next, and then PSG facing Dignitas after they play Fnatic earlier in the day. Weedham Girls facing Fnatic. Fnatic are probably going to struggle a little bit there, as Weedham Girls have been on a kind of a high, but all in all, that's gonna be it from Europe. There's a lot going on in that particular scene, and
it's the Dignitas Invitational,
right? That's basically it. Like, there's a clear first place here. Everything else is up for grabs.
Yeah.
So we'll see whether or not they can pull out some wins. Oh my God, I'm not even making sense. You know what I mean. We'll see how teams do next weekend. Good Lord.
Have another one, Daz.
Right? Oh God. Okay, a couple of things. Let's still stick on Rocket League. Well, no. We'll stick on Rocket League stuff for right now. So, you guys are in obviously rival series team. You, Gillyweed, Jorby, Subi, and Corelli. No Unthink or Achieves. How have those changes affected you guys?
They have made our mornings leading into the shows miserable, because we miss them a lot. Unthink, you could always count on Unthink to, if there was ever silence, there wouldn't be silence for very long. He would always come up with something incredibly funny to say. So his presence is definitely missed on Friday mornings. And Achieves, I mean, he was at least there, and he probably will be most of the Fridays, because he comes out for RLCS. We're not going to have many pocket squares on the desk, but he was actually, when I went out there for week 3, was my first week of Rival Series. I'm pretty sure he was out there as well, and he really kind of took the lead on all of us getting prepped for the next day's matches and what we would be talking about, going over Gilly's notes and all that. So you do kind of miss his leadership, I think, on our team. But, I think, the 4 of us going out there every week is really going to make up for that, because we're going to develop that chemistry with not having, somebody out there for 3 weeks, somebody out there for 2 weeks, everybody every week. I think should be great.
Good. I'm glad you guys are still, finding, finding like that comfortability despite like losing such valuable members. You know what I mean? Like, Unthink had to peace out, and then Achieves moving up to the RLCS. So the pretty big changes. They clearly have had an impact, but you guys are still trucking along like nothing changed, and that's what's good.
We shed tears in the back. Don't be fooled.
I shed tears, but they were like more like, oh my god, Chiefs RLCS. Oh my god, I'm so happy for him. Tears of joy thing.
Yeah, again, that man deserves it.
Mm.
He's deserved every bone he's had thrown his way because he has worked so damn hard. As a quick aside, I remember I think about a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago, when we were doing Gfinity stuff,
Mm.
and Achieves would come up with like these graphics, these player cards for some of the players like Cookser and Marky and all these guys that we'd see in those Gfinity tournaments, and he would just be an encyclopedia of knowledge, and he could you could really tell either someone had a conversation with him or he just decided, you know what, I want this, I want these opportunities, and he just busted his ass and really made those opportunities for himself.
Yeah, I remember that. It was I think it was like Badger making the graphics, and then the
Yep.
Chiefs filling
Yes.
them out, and
Yep.
they would have like the little GFin screen, and they pop them up, and it was like, here's this, and this, and this, and it was cool. Oh man, those were the days, man. Now you've all left me.
I kind of miss those. I don't miss having to be at home at about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon and doing a cast before maybe going to a basketball game later that night. But I do still kind of miss the old RLC Gfinity group.
Yeah, I do too. It was the Fridays were great, man. I loved the Fridays,
oh yes,
man.
the Fridays. That's when everybody came out to play. They had the bigger prize pool.
Yep, they had that small little $50 bump to the prize pool.
Yeah.
There was it would be like me, you, Achieves, Curtis, and we'd all be in this like we're all in like we're doing voice through TeamSpeak for those who don't know, and we'd all be in the TeamSpeak. And we'd be like, okay, so who wants to do this? And everyone's like, I don't care. Who's pushing buttons? They're like, I guess I'll do it. And we'd be like, okay, because we would split the bracket with Rocket Baguette.
Yep.
And we'd be like, okay, which half do we want? We're like, well, let's take Gale Force and flip side on this half. We're like, okay, we'll take that half. And then we'd all just like meet in the middle. It was great.
You know who's an unsung hero from those days? Fnatic. Because there'd be days like he'd be sick and he wanted to cast, and he would just run the production instead. Like hey, I'll stream, you guys cast. I'm like, oh yes, I don't have to press any buttons and worry about changing scenes or anything.
Oh boy, them overlays, man.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, having Fnatic run the broadcast, like, oh, I feel like we're living the life of luxury right now.
Right, that was back when Rocket League Central was relevant. Don't tell nobody I said that.
Whew. Wow, I think I just saw you kicked from the Discord. Congrats.
No. Oh god, they'll have something soon. I hope. Oh my
soon,
god.
TM.
Right, soon. TM.
Renegade.
Right, yeah. Let's actually chat about that. So, Renegade Cup was announced. What are your thoughts?
I love it, and I know Jorby could talk for. Actually, when Subi and I were on the desk, Corey from Psyonix was there the day before for the rehearsal, and like when we were told, hey, we're going to talk about Renegade Cup, Subi and I both told Corey, like, dude, if you don't put a cap on how long we could go, we could talk about this for 15 minutes because we absolutely love it. I know Jorby was a huge fan as well. And I mean,
I could just hear Jorby just like talking about it.
Oh man, yeah, it's probably the thing Jorby talked about most over the weekend. Honestly, is the Renegade Cup and how excited it was that Psyonix was reaching out to the community and letting these TOs run these events. And it is a great move from Psyonix because it's something the community's been asking for and asking for and asking for, and they finally have it. And I know, Nexus is probably going to kind of use this as kind of a launch pad, get back into the tourney scene, and of course, Rivals will probably lead the way, and you've got these other orgs that can really step up, like Rewind, like a Boost Legacy, these orgs that have been around for so long, and now they're getting a bone thrown their way, and I think even more importantly, a chance for other casters to do some high-profile online events, and these players now have something, like I said on Friday, that's better than playing for a $150 prize pool that only pays out to first place.
Right. Yeah, $20,000 prize pool total, I believe.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
Renegade
20.
Cup.
Yeah, it's 20,000. I think it's 40,000 per region overall, because it's the
Right,
5K monthlies, and then the $20,000 finals.
Yeah, RLCS teams can't even compete. Like rival series
Right.
teams can, but RLCS teams can't. I think that's cool because it helps bridge the gap a little bit.
It does, yes.
And yeah, more opportunities for tier 3 casters like me who sit here and do talk shows all day. Oh, you know I'm crying inside. Right?
I wasn't gonna bring up the tier 3 thing at all.
Oh, okay.
You did it. You did it.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna go the whole show because you told me be nice, and I wasn't.
That was for me.
3. Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't gonna make the tier 3 joke. I feel like we've done it enough, but yes, it will be a great opportunity for tier 3 casters like yourself.
Oh, don't do that.
To jump up to tier 2.
Oh, good. Oh, man. It's so good. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I'm definitely already just like, as soon as I like hit it up, I was like, okay, let me talk to someone at Rival real quick because I need to make sure I'm going to be on this broadcast. So,
yes.
well,
that'll probably be the best one too, because all the best teams will be playing that one. Usually when you have a point system like that, the best teams come out for the first one, and then you knock out the best couple of teams, and it gets progressively lesser over time.
Yeah, I haven't had to sweat in an online broadcast in a long time, but it looks like I'm getting ready to do that again.
Yeah, we need more of them. Need more lands too.
Yeah, hopefully this leads into something bigger. I hope it does. But it's a good little system. I like how the system is like playing out right now. Lots of different events. You don't have to play in every single one, but you want to because it only helps you out more and more so. But yeah, honestly, I think that particular thing, the particular format in the Renegade Cup is going to like help push, one, the gap to be closed between rival series teams and community teams, and then two, if the format proves successful, we'll see more of it, but on a bigger stage.
Yeah, and I think maybe an underrated part of the Renegade Cup is the community organizers being able to kind of work, I guess, like a big boy event, where you're going to be working directly with Psionics, you're going to be dealing with contracts and proposals and all of that, and you'll be putting together a kind of a major production, which it's not normally like that for most community tournaments. You find somebody that you think knows the team, so you somewhat seed it, and you hope it starts on time. And if you've got 2 casters and a streamer, that's like the gold standard. You feel like you've just you've done 8 hours of prep work, and now you're finally ready to actually stream your tournament. So for a lot of these guys, it's going to be a major step up, and I'm excited to see these orgs get to show the community really what they're capable of.
Yeah, for sure. And
B-Dog's going to be busy.
Yeah, he is. Hopefully I'm as busy.
Yes.
Hopefully me and B-Dog have a lot of time together.
Yes.
I think so, though. Everybody knows Nancy Desi knows his things. His things about his things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Renegade Cup's going to be coming out really soon, guys. And once that happens, I believe it will start next month. Once that happens, things are going to shake up. There's going to be a lot of Rocket League. If you thought Weekend Rocket League was enough, you're going to have Midweek Rocket League. You're just going to have Rocket League, okay? You wanted more Rocket League, you got more Rocket League. I hope you're happy.
Yeah, it's as Wave said, there are some weeks where we may legitimately have Saturday, Sunday RLCS, Monday, Tuesday CRL, Wednesday, Thursday Renegade Cup, and then Friday Rival Series, and then repeat the cycle. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be freaking great, dude. So, again, once all that gets underway, well, again, there'll be a lot more to also talk about as well. So, it'll be great to see how everything plays out. Of course, announcements will be soon. You guys know who to follow on Twitter to get all that latest info. The only other hot topic we got, guys, I am going to play the new Hot Wheels DLC that just got announced. It's only like a minute.
Hot topic. Well done.
Yeah, we're going for the hot topic, boys. So we're gonna hit that on your screen. Stax, what do you think about this new Hot Wheels DLC we got?
Well, as a lover of the twin mill, I'm super excited about this. I don't know if you've got the you're gonna have the audio. I'm gonna be over it or anything, but
no, I got the audio. I got the audio off. Actually,
okay.
We'll mute it.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. I've always been a fan of the Hot Wheels integration. I absolutely love the twin mill in particular. I made it look as hideous as humanly possible. You get a new arena. It's kind of a little bit like Champions Field. It kind of looks like.
Every hour on the hour with Snazzy.
Buddy was moved out of your channel. Joined your channel.
Wow.
There's a show going on, my guy.
This guy.
Oh.
Oh.
Out of here. There we go. Threw him up in the Hollywood Hammers room. So yeah, that's Stumptavian RoboClick.
Yeah.
Nobody likes him.
Nope.
And yeah, these shots, by the way, look awesome.
Yeah, they had Justin record some of these shots for them. That's why they look so good.
Yeah, I don't know if any of the cars are going to be, as good as say the Maverick, but the last one they showed, the Gazelle, that looked all right.
Yeah.
If, people like their long cars.
I indeed enjoy a long car from time to time. I know the twin mill when it first came out was really hype, and I was like,
it was a customizable Batmobile to some extent, and then people realized, no, it's really not.
Yeah, it was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be bad. And people, like, I think Cooks are was like looking at it a little bit, and then it kind of just died away.
Yes, it did.
Oh man.
Oof. Yeah, that's like, okay, I overhype some cars. I definitely overhyped the twin mill. That was a miss.
Oh man.
But it is nice to see. It's not all esports stuff, and it's not just stuff for the casuals. Like I think they're doing a lot more now to kind of balance what they're doing. Psyonix between kind of appeasing the the casual crowd that just they're going to throw their money at Psyonix no matter what.
Right.
And
and the
just
esports crowd as well.
Exactly. And any kind of deal with a major company like Hot Wheels, Mattel, I think is either Mattel or Hasbro that does Hot Wheels now. That's just more money coming into Psyonix. That means more money to kind of spread around. And again, $1 million prize pool for the RLCS. You would hope that it could only keep going up.
Right. And of course, introduction of the Rocket Pass as well with this Hot Wheels DLC.
Yeah, you talk about money.
Yeah. Whew. It's going off the roof. I mean, day one, you got people like Puff. Just okay, here, take my money. I want this.
Yep.
I want all of it. Even Johnny Boy, he's like, yeah, I just bought a bunch of painted items because and now I have all these painted items I don't want. And Psyonix is like, thank you.
Yeah, and it's it's something that it's been a kind of a controversial subject, the Rocket Pass, because there are people that think, oh, it's just a money grab. And I'm like, okay, but you're the same people that want esports items in the game, which is also a money grab. Like, why do you open a business? To make money. And so anytime you can entice somebody to give you money, you do. Like the streamers, for instance, there's a sub button up top. You think they're just streaming because they really like that interaction with the two people they get in their chat every day? Not really. They have aspirations usually to grow their stream and make money off it. So yeah, the Rocket Pass, I love it. Yeah. Like I think I'm ranked 20. I don't know what tier I am. 26, I think.
I think I'm like 9.
Oh yeah, no, I've been playing a ton, and of course, when you get the premium pass, it's $10. You might as well. What else are you gonna do? And you get extra XP, which just makes you climb even faster. You get the XP boosts along the way, so I'm getting plus 60% XP right now for every game. Like it adds up really fast.
I bet. Yeah, I too enjoy the idea of Rocket Pass. I wish you could the only thing I wish you could just like skip the whole like level up screen. Other than that.
Oh yeah. I've actually I had a game last night where going through the tier up thing, and we were already in another game before I even saw the items. I mean, that queue popped fast, and it you can't even exit the lobby. Like, you know,
no, you can't do anything.
People don't want to leave. I mean, if somebody wants to talk a bunch of shit to you while that post game thing is going on, like, you can't do anything about it. You can't even mute them. So I really think it's something they need to just, if you press X, you skip it entirely, and you get to the menu, and you can go to training, queue, leave the lobby, whatever.
I think that'll probably be something that's been getting a lot of vocal activity. So
and when there's
in the next update.
Yeah, and the next usually when there's this kind of feedback on something, and I mean it's been widespread. Psyonix is pretty good about implementing that in the next update. So fingers crossed.
So speaking of feedback, we're gonna move on to our next topic, which is kind of a big one for me, at least a little bit. It was Richard Lewis had made a comment on RL Esports. I'm gonna bring up the little viewer thing here. We're gonna get it on your guys' screen. I'll play with audio and then we can talk about it afterwards.
Yep.
Doo-doo.
How do I feel about Rocket League esports? I think it's really got a lot of potential. I think the biggest issue that's holding Rocket League back, unfortunately, is there's just not a lot of personality on the players, right? Like I've said this multiple times, you've got to have, like, bad guys, good guys, nice guys, fucking all types of different players, you know, like people who give you incredible insight about what they do, you know? And it's like, whenever I see Rocket League interviews, it's just like, so, tell me about how you won that game. We were better and we scored more goals, and yeah, it feels really good to win, and we're looking to improve, and you're like, fucking get me out of this, mate. Even the Korean interviews in fucking StarCraft were more interesting than this. How do I feel about Rocket League?
Okay, we're off that, but man, that made me laugh so much.
Yeah.
He's
absolutely right. I've always felt like any esports scene, especially Rocket League, could take a lot of cues from, like, professional wrestling, where there are clearly good guys and bad guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are guys who, you know, it's just more interesting when you, like, sure, you want to cheer for people, and, you know, me personally, I want to see just about everybody succeed and, you know, pop off and play really good games. But when there are people that you can cheer against, especially when they're playing, say, people you're cheering for, it makes the emotional investment that much better. Go back to Marky Duda, season 1 or 2, when he's talking all this shit about, period. But when he's talking all this shit about North American players and how, oh, well, we're flip side, you know, us EU guys are just going to beat up all the NA players. They can't hang with us and all this. Like, that made a lot of even casual fans in North America go, who the hell is this guy?
Right.
One of these, Grenovi. I hope you kick his ass. And sure enough, iBuyPower does go over there and they do just that. Or actually, it was in LA and they do just that. So, it's we need more of that. You know, we need personalities in general. Like Squishy, I don't think Squishy is nearly as, I guess, arrogant as people perceive him to be. But it's just the way he acts on social media, where, you know, he's developed a reputation. He's kind of a heel, a bad guy in North America. People are actively cheering against him, and that's good. That's good for the scene in general, because it's not like they actually hate him. It's just, oh, well, Cloud9 lost. Should have been 3-0. Or, you know, they get some dig on him. I think Scrubkill is going to be the same way in Europe. I think when he gets some W's under his belt, I think you're going to see some real trash talk coming out of him. And it's going to be great. It's going to be good for the scene.
Yeah. And it's a weird thing to ask, right? Because at the end of the day, like, the player's job is just to be players. And we're kind of like making a request of them to, like, be entertaining to us. Which is like, you know, like, hey, sure, you're a Rocket League player, but, like, I need you to bring, like, some level of emotion in here. Like, they technically don't have to do it, but I do think that in terms of improving the game for like the viewers aspect, if you're a player, you care about the viewership numbers and you care about stuff like that, then you have to be entertaining, so to speak. If the numbers help you out, it helps Psyonix out, then you want to like feed into that, promote that. And it doesn't have to be, it's not like we're saying, hey, talk shit about everybody, you know what I'm saying? After post game, I want you on Twitter talking about how you clap Ghost immediately. No, it's not like that. It's
right.
It's more like, just show more of your personality. You have a personality. Not all of you guys are robots, no matter how much Squishy wants to like say that. And, you know, as much as that team tries to be robots, I feel like they try to be robots. And Lord knows that they have a personality because they play games. They're all friends with each other. So, like,
yeah,
just show that publicly. Don't be afraid to just show who you are publicly. You have fans. Yeah. They're going to love you. They want to see that. It's half the reason I brought the show up in the first place, and then half the players who come on the show act like robots anyways. I can't make you, like, have a personality. I can ask you so many different questions about yourself to like, try to, like, give you this personality. I'm asking Turbo, I'm like, why is Dignitas such a good team? What do you think makes your team so good? He's, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. And I was just like, okay. All right.
Yeah. No, the correct answer to that is we're not North American. Like, that's how that'll cause a firestorm. And, that'll get people talking.
All right.
M-Dog in your chat raises a really good point. I think the interviewers also kind of have to, you kind of got to lead somebody towards saying something, instead of just, hey, you guys won, what really worked for you guys? Like, point out something on the other team, like, hey, flip side, looks like you guys were able to, it looked like everything PSG tried you had an answer for. Can you talk about that a little bit? Or something like that. And maybe, just maybe, somebody would go, somebody would maybe fire a shot or two. You never know. But, it'd be good. But there's kind of a flip side to that. That is not intentional. That's not intentional.
Okay.
So I went down to Connecticut for the Universal Open Finals, right? And we got to talk with Larry Ridley quite a bit. And, he said there was something that he thought was really cool about the Rocket League scene is, everybody... there is this sense of community and everybody's friends with each other, and you don't have any crazy stuff happening like you would in his words, like the 2K stuff, the Madden tournaments that he's done. I mean, like, there are people that actually hate each other, and it was, of course, his words were kind of prophetic at that point because just a few hours later, Jacksonville happened. But you don't have really any feuds in Rocket League, and I think that's kind of a double-edged sword.
Right. Because although there's like a strong sense of community and everyone's buddy, matter of fact, so speaking of like in terms of like, again, the fact that it's community and it's buddy, like it makes everyone a little bit more in terms of like just safety issues. If we want to bring up like the Jacksonville thing, it makes everyone kind of like more vulnerable in a sense, because like I remember I was talking to CF and they were telling me like, they don't like they assume all the players are like cool, everybody's like cool, comfortable, whatever, and ever since everyone's friends with each other, they don't expect anything to go wrong, so like security is a little bit more chill and lax. But at the same time, if we want to talk about like just in players perspectives in general, like I asked Turbo when he was on the show, like I was like, so do you actually mean some of this crap that you talk, or is it just like jokes or whatever, or like are you guys all, at least like at the end of the day everyone's still friends? So the fact that everyone is friends with everyone and people are able to work stuff out means that, you don't really get things don't get extreme. Yeah.
Well, I think, you do want to see, you want to see a little bit of edge in all of these players, in a lot of these players. You'll have some of your, kind of your white knights in the community that, they're guys that they stay above the drama. They could do no wrong, and they're shining examples for everybody else to follow. But I do think you want to see some players that just they give off the vibe that they don't like each other because it makes the competition that much better. I look at traditional sports, for example, and players that will talk a lot of trash before and during and sometimes after a game, but when the game is over, handshake line, everybody shakes hands, they say good game, regardless of how heated things got. As long as there's that level of mutual respect,
All right.
go out and say and do whatever. Like, give us a reason to care about this match other than, oh, well, we like Dignitas, or we don't want to see Dignitas win, or whatever the case may be. Because, again, you want to have viewers invested in the personalities.
Right. And if you don't want to be like, a dick or be mean to anyone, then just show like, again, provide like extensive insight or something to like show how you are different from all the other players. You don't have to necessarily be mean to stand out, although that's the easiest way to do it. But you could also, again, just go into, being a very insightful player, talking about, okay, this is how we practice, this is what we do, this is why, this, that, and the other thing happens. Or just, something to just, show you got a little bit of flavor. Ain't no flavor. Where's the flavor?
Yeah, and when somebody asks you, how did you win? You just brag. Just have an ego about it. Just say, yeah, we're that friggin' awesome. Or say anything other than, like Richard Lewis said, oh, well, we played really well, and, yeah, that's a good team over there, and we just we're lucky to have come out with the win, and I want to thank God, and I want to thank my teammates, and Justin over there really popped off, and no, just like you scored a nutty ass goal, just like
I bought that.
it's like you scored a ceiling try goal. It's like eventually I was gonna put one of those in. It was only a matter of time. Like I know that I can put this team on my shoulders if I need to, and I knew that we should have beaten them. We did beat them. And now, next man up. Bring them. Something. Just do some talking.
Yeah. So
that would have been weak trash talk. Don't take my cues. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Speaking of like that.
Oh, what a seamless transition. I know where this is going.
So let's talk about, they're really quiet when it comes to interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they're not too quiet when it comes to Twitter.
Oh, of course not.
And they definitely let you have it earlier this week. And it's always, I feel like that's a good like compare and contrast to make. Like, again, they show their personalities more on Twitter than they do on a broadcast.
Yeah, because they're behind one of these.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is. But
or let's face it, it's 2018. They're behind one of these.
Oh god! But it's just like if we could see more of that like of them when they're comfortable. It just seems like they're uncomfortable on camera. If they could just get more comfortable, and I assume the more lands we have, the more times people be like again comfortable on camera, and the more we'll see more of those personalities like actually shine and come out.
Yeah, absolutely. More events and just a little more encouragement for like, hey, be yourself out there. Don't worry if you upset somebody. It doesn't matter. If all you did was upset a few fans on Twitter with, something you said about your opponents, who cares? They don't determine wins and losses. Just let your game do the talking when it really matters. But put on a show for the fans. It's better for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, again, that's just something that like I think everyone kind of wants to see more so. Because like half the time I sit there and me and Jorby sit there, we'll be playing, and we're just like, man, if we were players, we'd shake this scene up, dude. Just because like we know how to get emotional and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. We can do it behind a monitor. We can do it in public. So if you like, just be yourself. That's all anyone's asking you to do is be yourself. Because it's just like everyone tries to just kind of be they try to be comfortable, and when you're trying to be comfortable, that you're uncomfortable. Everyone knows you're uncomfortable, and you just end up looking stiff and just saying the same thing everyone else has been saying the entire time. So again, if you got,
I like M-Dog's point. Now the casters are at least starting to be a little more edgy since the players won't do it.
Yeah, I mean, hello. Yeah, it's been going on for a while though. The Jorby rant. You ain't gonna ever forget the Jorby rant.
Oh no. Yeah, just win.
Yeah.
Right? That's the family friendly version of it. Just win.
Family friendly, just win. Yeah, I don't know. They don't put me on broadcast anymore, so I can't do it. I believe you've definitely took some shots here and there. We had play-ins for NA. Remember when Over Zero said he wanted to take that nap and everyone, even Axel Toss, went in on him?
Yeah. What Axel Toss going in on him like shocked me. I didn't hear it when it happened. Somebody had posted it on Reddit, and I watched it. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like that for me, that was the equivalent of like Jim Nantz going in on somebody, you know, on the NFL on CBS. Just, you know, when Hello Friends gets on your case. Wow.
That's how you know you messed up.
Yeah. That was pretty shocking. And, you know, it's been a meme ever since, and deservedly so. That is somebody. There's a very small list of people who I hope never get any opportunities within Rocket League ever again. He's on the list. Over Zero.
That's bogus.
To pull that off, and then the next day to have Shakaron, who's on the verge of retirement, who is not one of these guys at all. Like, he is so far up and down on any given day, and when he's saying, "Oh, if I don't make Rival Series, I'm probably just going to retire," and he's had two of his teammates already plucked from him by a team that's in the Rival Series and an RLCS team. They dropped out. They got their asses kicked in the upper bracket and go 9 straight matches over like 4 hours to then make it into the Rival Series after Over Zero had pulled his crap. Like, there could not have been a bigger FU in that whole situation than what Shakaron and now Copenhagen Flames did that Sunday in play-in day. Absolutely. Like, I was ecstatic when Shakaron made it. It was just awesome.
That's probably one of the best runs ever. Like, it's definitely like top 3. I don't know if there's anything like that tops it. Nothing immediately comes to mind, but that was like, good lord. If you were there to witness that run, you witnessed, like, I want to say almost history.
Well, because just a quick aside, we were following the bracket before we went live for the play-ins. And, you know, somebody's like, "Oh, the bricks dropped." I'm like, "Okay, well, there goes another top 10 seed," because I think we lost WLF at some point too. We didn't even notice the bricks had dropped down. We're just like looking in the upper bracket, like, where the hell are they? And we realized, oh, well, they're done. And I didn't even notice until we had like that really long delay in one of our lower bracket matches where eventually Magoo had to come in and play. And you know, I just kind of pull out my phone because we're having to fill for a lot, and I'm just kind of trying to look at the bracket. And finally, they went to a video package so I could actually really look down and see, you know, the winner of this match plays the winner of. And I had to stop myself from going, holy shit, because that's like, the bricks are still alive. And, you know, I started hyping up that story a little bit, and sure enough, they made it, which was great.
Yeah, that's just nutty, man. Everyone was just kind of, I was peeping the bracket. I wasn't really like in any chats or anything like that, but I was just watching like at home, and I'm like, oh my god, they're actually gonna do it. And lo and behold, Jesus Christ, what a run! Oh man, so good on them. Good on Shaq. We kind of like definitely went on a tangent there.
We did.
Has nothing.
But it was a tangent worth going on.
It definitely
Shakaron
was.
Is awesome.
Yeah. Oh man, he is an awesome guy.
Like, he says some stupid things from time to time, but who doesn't? Present party included.
True, very true. I'm waiting for the time I say something stupid on Twitter. I always keep telling everyone, like, I'm gonna say something dumb, and you're all gonna roast me. And everyone takes the opportunity to just roast me there. They're like, oh,
that was the best, by the way. Thursday night when we were all at dinner. Was it Thursday or was it Friday?
Were you all together when you did that?
Yeah, we were all at dinner.
Oh my god!
And I think it was Corelli actually who had the idea. I can't remember if it was Corelli or Jorby who had the idea. It's like, hey guys, come up with something to roast Daz, and we all tweeted at the same time. And so we all typed out what we were going to type out, and he goes, 3, 2, 1. And I've actually got the screenshot. You saw it,
I got it saved
everybody
on my phone.
Within 3 seconds of each other.
I looked at my phone, like, I was just, like, taking my dog out after I made the tweet, and I go outside, and I'm like, bzz, 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 bzz. I'm like, what the? I'm like, oh, they want to fight. I'm like, okay, we got to get these Twitter fingers real quick. Oh, man. Oh, wow, speaking of Twitter, so there's a app called, okay, I don't think this is legit. There's an app called Stream Support, and they tweeted out my stream, helping broadcasters grow. I don't know how to feel about this.
There you go. I remember starting out streaming way back in the day.
Okay, all right.
And
all right, guy.
You know, and trying all these, you know, oh, retweet your stream, follow this, we retweet your, yeah, it barely ever worked.
It's garbage.
Back in the days of Sea Dogs fans streaming MLB The Show.
Haha, those were good days. I found your Instagram. That's how I found Sea Dogs fan.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, I scrolled up, I was like, oh, this is a picture of Rocket League. And it's something like loving this game. And I was like, this is where it all began.
Yep, that's what it was.
Oh, man. You're rocking the Dominus and everything. I was like,
oh yeah.
Man.
I need to recreate that car if I even can. I gotta try and really look at that and go, okay.
Oh,
because
OGC.
that looks surprisingly good for a PS4 screenshot.
Right? Oh man, the long gone are the days of PS4. We all
I know, right?
I'll never forget casting off of a PS4. I think so. Before Shift Pro League died, RIP in peace. They made a like goodbye video, and the first thing I believe on there is a cast of me while I was like casting on my PS4. So I'm sitting there, PlayStation on. I have a MacBook in my hand. I'm using the same microphone now, but it was just on my bed. And yeah, I was casting off of my television, and it was something. It worked. It was doable, but after every game, we were like, please make sure you have crossplay on. Oh god.
Yeah. Excuse me. Can you guys turn crossplay on? Why? We're in like the semis. Yeah, but we need to get our caster in there.
Oh god. I hope that helped build notoriety, because a lot of people were probably like, who's this guy? And it was me. Hopefully that helped. I don't know. Oh,
yeah, those days are gone. Thank God.
Thank God.
Of course, now you still need to keep crossplay on so that you can get streamed in the Astro tourneys, but you know.
Yeah. I'll live with that. But I mean, Rocket League things aside, Stax, how's life going? Is anything new in life?
Life is going great. You know, main teams are doing very well this fall. The high school I announced for, their football team is right in the mix, and what little time I actually get to spend at UMaine and here in town are, you know, always seeing good games and don't really have anything too much to worry about. So I've been pretty lucky.
Nice, that's good. So for those who don't know, Stax is also a PA announcer for UMaine. And that's what he did before, during, and currently up to this point in his Rocket League career.
Yep.
So,
this is kind of the first time it's actually interfered, or anything it's interfered with, the announcing work and some of the work that I do outside of announcing. So it's kind of an exciting time.
That's good. That's good. So to talk about like your casting career, at least in esports, do you ever feel like so a lot of people like give you like the battle commander title, right? Like, you know,
D-pants.
Yeah, especially D-pants. Do you ever feel like people pay too much attention to that? Like, you know, like more so how you say stuff and not what you say?
I hope that they care more about how I say things, because there are sometimes I get tongue-tied, and I'd rather them not notice that. You know, I don't know if it's too much. You know, it's great to see positive feedback, but I don't kind of get too caught up in it.
Right.
Because, you know, it's great that people like the show they're watching, but, you know, I can't let my head just go like this, and you know, want to try to keep my ego in check, because that's the one thing I worry about the most. Like, if you're in broadcasting, you have to have an ego to some extent. It's just how you function. I don't ever want to come off as somebody who feels like he's
like unapproachable.
Yeah, unapproachable, or like there are people who are beneath me.
Right.
Other than Jorby. So So as long as I don't let it get too far out of control, I'm doing all right.
Oh man, that's good. That's really good. I don't know.
I know Jorby's not gonna clap back at me. He can't see me, so it's fine.
Oh god,
I killed him.
you got me. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in a weird spot. Like, there's a part of me that knows my worth as a talent, right?
Yeah.
But then there's a part of me that knows where I currently am in my career at the same time. So it's a weird way to balance it, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job so far. I haven't been on Twitter being like, why haven't I gotten any opportunities? Oh my god, no. I haven't done any of that, and I will never do that. Mainly because the reason I do half the stuff that I do is because, like, how much I value the community. And I won't go on a tangent here because this could definitely lead into a tangent. But I'll
go on it for you, trust me.
I will just say the community means a lot to me. So they've given me a lot. So I just give back when I can.
And that's true for a very significant number of us that are casting, whether we're on the Rival Series, the RLCS, or trying to work our way up to that point. I remember just was it a few weeks ago? I think it was a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I kind of had a moment where I went into the Casters Corner Discord and saw a little conversation going on, like, hey, what separates Rival Series and RLCS casters from community casters? Like, what do they do that maybe we need to do better? And finally, I just said, I just went on a long rant that I guess I could paraphrase. It's like, know your worth, but also build up a reputation, right? Work your ass off, do as much as you can, without killing yourself and losing your voice.
Yeah.
But, for me, your mileage may vary, but you remember that the Fall Brawl, Daz, where, I got on a plane Sunday morning, flew out to Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Got on a 2-hour bus ride to Wisconsin. Almost blew out my knee going across the road because I was cramped up in a bus for 2 hours. Get in Omer's car to get to this hotel where this 2v2 tournament's going on. Cast a few matches, stay with Hanzo that night, miss my flight in the morning, so book a different flight to come back to Boston to drive back up to Maine. That was all after announcing a football game and a hockey game the day before. And I got $100 for that, which went towards the flight. There. Let's set the line right there. You want to be a caster? There you go. Yeah. That's the difference between people who say they want to be casters and say they want to do this full time and all that, and people who actually do.
Yeah, it's rough. It's not easy.
It is not. You have to do a lot for not a lot.
Yep.
And I don't really think a lot of people understand this. I know you do.
Yeah.
I know Vaudeville understands that because he's been on that grind too, and he has done a lot of those events and gotten not a lot in return. Fickle's the same way. Guys who are really established in the North American scene that still haven't gotten, a ton in return for what they do. It's not easy at all.
I think I won't say worst, but one of those really trying experiences for me was DreamHack Atlanta. I knew it was a big event. Yeah. I knew it was something major, and I couldn't get on the broadcast team for the actual major, but there was a 2v2. There was a 2K BYOC tournament going on. At that time, this was when I was just starting to really get events, and I had to keep that momentum going. So I reached out to CJ. We were talking about CJ was basically like, we can't really give you anything. We can give you a pass, and you can sleep on the little sleeping cots that everyone else sleeps on, and and that room. And I was like, I really don't want to be in a room full of strangers with all my commentating stuff. So I split an Airbnb with Alstedo and Jasher. It cost me basically I spent all my savings to for the flight. Oh no, the flights were actually free. Oh god, this was terrible. This was terrible. This is so bad. Yeah. So my stepbrother works at Southwest, and he's able to give me flights on days where flights aren't always booked. So I had to fly in like Tuesday. DreamHack was no, I flew in on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, I flew in on Wednesday, and DreamHack was on Friday. But Alstead on Jasher didn't get in. They booked it, I believe, for just like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever. So I had to sleep at my friend's house in Atlanta, and then that's when I like, oh god, it was bad. Well, I slept on his couch because I didn't want to sleep in his room because his room had roaches everywhere, and I was like, I'm not doing this. So I slept on his couch because they were just, for some reason, they were just in his room. So I was like, okay, whatever, we're gonna sleep in his room. Yeah. I was like, I was like, okay, it's been like 30 minutes, I haven't seen anything. I'm just gonna go to sleep before I freak myself out. So went to sleep, woke up, immediately got out of there to the spot. My mom was asking me if they were paying me. I had to lie to tell her yes because she wasn't gonna let me go. She wasn't going to let me go if they weren't paying me. My job didn't put the time off request through for my job, so they were calling me like, "Where are you? You're supposed to come in today." I'm like, "I'm in Atlanta," and I'm like, I had an argument with my job. I could have lost my job. So I had all that in the back of my head. Finally get to the Airbnb, and DreamHack Atlanta itself was a blast. Like it was an absolute blast. The cast at the BY, like I got to help build the major area, set up the PCs. That was when the whole, like, if you saw the Hector interview where Cookser did his like, we need a better monitor. So
we need a 500 hertz monitor. Yeah.
So we got his whole setup. I saw Hector literally rant in front of Cloud Fuel, Esports Corey, and Dirk. Like, I was there and I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but he's definitely going on a tangent. And they were like, oh yeah, that's Flipside's owner. And I was like, okay. So got to watch the tournament, did that whole little, I was like involved with like the major, which was cool. CJ was kind of mad at me because I wasn't helping out in main stage because I was like, oh, do you guys need me? No? Okay, I'm going to skirt over here to the Rocket League stuff. and that was fun. And then on Sunday I casted the BYOC. That was when D-Pants and everybody, D-Pants and Chiefs and boys, after the broadcast, they had come through to, like, watch, which I thought was really cool. And that's when D-Pants told CJ to, like, make me go on stage and do, like, post-match interviews, which freaked me the hell out because I'd never done anything like that before. He's like, CJ sliced me, like, this big of a paper while I'm casting, and I, like, open it. I'm like, they're like, yeah, we're, cut to a quick break. We're not going to do the interviews on here. You're going to go on stage and interview players. And I was like, what? But Vile got some very impressive shots of me up there, and it was definitely a memorable experience for sure. Then I got to go to D-Pants' hotel room and watch him hump a flag, a Rocket League flag, because he was like, I did that tournament, yeah, And he looked me in the eyes, and it was really scary. So I think it was worth it. I think it was worth it.
Sounds like a power move right there.
Right? He was like, yeah, Daz, yeah, you see me? And I was like, oh,
that absolutely sounds like D-Pants, probably with at least a few drinks under him at that point.
I think, maybe, probably. Oh, God. All I know is, like, that, and then I didn't even fly home, like, the next day, because my brother couldn't give me the flight, so I had to go back to my friend's house and sleep there another night and cry. And then I finally made it home. But that was the level of, like, I was broke after that. Like, my job was mad at me. I had to, like, tell my mom, yeah, the check's coming. And, like, all of that I did just for that 1 3-day event. So, some people will probably say I did too much. But I think it was worth it. And I'd probably do it again.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you have to be a different type of person, I think, to want to get into casting, right? I mean, you know, if you want to make what you think you're worth per hour, there are plenty of jobs on helpwanted.com or something for you. But, you know, if you know, broadcasting, commentary, hosting, whatever is very much high risk, high reward, but god damn if it doesn't take forever to get to that point.
I know that for sure.
I mean, we're not breaking the bank in Rocket League or even in esports in general. I mean, guys like Golden Boy and Red Eye, they'll make tons per day. They'll make more. They'll probably make more per day than some of us will make in 3 days. On camera. But it's a good target to aim for.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I definitely do that look back thing where you look at everybody, the places you've been, and even the little things like playing a game of Rocket League and someone being like, "Oh, you're Daz from Discussions," and I'm like, "Yeah, I am."
I love when we were all in ranked. I'm going to tell this story.
Oh no.
So it's me, Jorby, and Dazerin in ranked, and someone recognizes us and doesn't mention us by name. So of course we're like pretty sure they're talking about Jorby and I because we did rival series and we've done quite a bit, and so I go, yeah, it's the Dazerin, and that same guy goes, yeah, I love Discussions. While Daz is just going, screw you to us in our voice chat because of course he thinks we're taking shots at him, and let's face it, we were. And this guy comes back with, yeah, I love Discussions. I'm like, wow.
Everyone's like, what?
Real cool there, Daz.
Everyone's like, what? Like, I'm over here, like they go in and they're like, oh my god, and I'm like, oh, here we go, another rival. Oh my god, I love rival series. Stax, you're amazing. Oh my god, Jordan. And then the guy's like, I love Discussions, and everyone just does a what? Oh, and then it kept coming. It kept coming after that, and I was just like, it was.
And you know what? We've all come a very long way because I remember having those moments in ranked, like way back when I was part of Market. I'm not afraid to admit that, yes, I was part of Market once upon a time.
Right.
And I think it was the very first update with crates.
Mm-hmm.
It was either crates or Rumble. I can't remember which update it was, but we were. It was me, Lucky, and Azael, all in a 3-man queue, and we get spotted in this unranked game, and someone goes, "Oh, there's no way you're the real Lucky and Azael." And I'm just sitting there going, like, I've been casting there for at least a few months. I'm like, what the fuck am I, chopped liver? But I really was at that point. I mean, no. Very few people actually knew who I was. It was just, that was that operation, and it feels great now that the tables have turned, and now Daz is usually the guy who is sitting with us in ranked, and people go, is that the real Jorby and Stax? Oh, we love you guys.
I'm so mad. Oh, I get so mad. Like,
but that one time, they're like, oh, I love Discussions with Daz.
And everyone
Daz
just is
thinks
like,
that we're having a laugh at him. Yeah, it is a disaster, the three of us playing ranked.
It definitely is. G3 eGames is the best Rocket League esports team, hands down. Okay.
As a champion level Rocket League player, and I get to say that now because I got back up there twice, I can say that really the problem is a lack of rotations. People really need to support me a little better. And, just let me do my thing. Like, I can be the Jacob of this team, right? If they just let me do my thing and fall in behind me to support me, we could easily hit Grand Champ. And then you think Grand Champ is a meme now. The three of us get there?
Whew. How much time's left in the season? We might queue after this show.
Oh my god. Not enough time is left. Not enough time is left in the doomsday clock for me to get to Grand Champ.
Oh god, no, we can't give your Twitter followers more ammo.
No, man, after that shitstorm last week, if I make Grand Champ, whew. Oh
my god, oh
that's a screenshot I am waiting for.
Right? Okay, so we only got a couple more topics to hit on before we're done here today.
Before Daz just passes out.
Right? Oh, man. So we've talked about some challenges you faced in your casting career. But now that you're a Rival Series caster, and, you know, a lot of people are waiting for you to go to their Stax to RLCS. I mean, that's been there before you've been a Rival Series caster, if we're being real. But in terms of where you want to go in esports in general, is there anywhere else you want to go? Like, are there any other games you're interested in? Or actually, are there any other roles as well in broadcasting that you're interested in?
It's tough because I've never had to choose between, say, PA announcing and broadcasting. But let's face it, commentary and hosting and such, that pays a hell of a lot more than announcing ever could. So that's probably the direction I'll end up going in. Mm-hmm. So at least in that realm, I'd like to try stage hosting at some point. But a little nervous about it, so I haven't really gone to Psionic to go, hey, do you need somebody to be a stage host? Not many other games, honestly. I mean, Rocket League is, you know, the closest thing to broadcasting sports, really. I think it's even closer than Madden when you think about it, because, like, you know, Madden and 2K, you know, you're kind of talking more about the inputs the players are putting in. Maybe you're not necessarily calling the game itself because the game already has in-game commentary, mm-hmm. So it's kind of weird. You know, Rocket League just itself, it plays like a hockey game. You know, it plays like hockey and soccer kind of mixed into one. And I can't imagine doing anything else. I want to try my hand at PUBG, kind of, but, you know, I haven't really reached out to people because just I don't know if I could really fit that on my plate right now. So it's, you know, kind of in a holding pattern, I think, with Rocket League right now. I thoroughly enjoy it. I'm excited for what's coming up, and, you know, I don't want to. It's already hard enough that I have to choose sometimes between, you know, not leaving UMaine high and dry with having to find like 5 replacements for, you know, a busy weekend, and broadcasting. I don't know that I really want to have to be in a position where I've got to choose, hey, do I want to do this big Rocket League event or do I want to do this big PUBG event, you know?
Right.
So, I'm content where I am for the most part right now.
Okay. That's good, though. I would love to see Stax stage host. I think that'd be fantastic.
You know what I really want to do? You know what I want to do?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I really want to do? For like a big event, whether it's RLCS or whatever in Vegas. You know how, like, at the first Universal Open, like, they had kind of an announcer announcing, like, goal by KDOP or whatever. Not necessarily that, but be, like, kind of a PA announcer introducing the teams at LAN.
Yeah,
I think, you know, I think that would be great. You know, kind of like a Michael Buffer role almost, just without the let's get ready to rumble and all that.
Yeah, no, that's what I was like. That's what I was visualizing when you brought it up. I was like, oh yeah, you kill that. Yeah,
because it's funny. I kind of need to pitch this to Psionics too. Is you know, I'm sitting there and I'm listening to, like, while I'm in London, I'm listening to Axel introduce the teams, and I'm like, this doesn't sound like Golden Boy introducing the teams, you know? Right. I really loved it when Golden Boy was hosting and he would introduce the teams, because, you know, he's just got that, like, really announcer presence to him, right? Like, you could tell he could do basketball at Staples Center, he could do he could do whatever. And, you know, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, man, if they need somebody to introduce the teams, I've kind of been doing it for over a decade.
I was gonna say, like, well, one, you have experience for sure, and then two, you and Golden Boy, like, are both, like, big wrestling fans, and you guys kind of like
yes,
you definitely take from that, and I just see, like, you guys know how to do that. Like, you guys know how to put on that vibe or give that vibe out when you guys do your casting or whatever. So, yeah, no, I see it all the way.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to do it. I would rather be casting at LAN.
True.
Let's be honest. But if I could be involved in any way at all, it would just be, I'd be like a kid in a candy shop.
Right. Oh, that would be great.
Man, that analogy doesn't even work today because kids don't even go to candy shops. I don't think candy shops even exist.
There's one downtown in Chicago.
Oh, there you go.
It's
okay.
weird though. Like, it's very weird. Like, yes, there's candy, but like, they also sell it up by like doing other things, like having emoji pillows, and it just creeps me out. Like when you see the poop emoji pillow, and I'm just like, okay, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about candy shops.
Yeah, they're too busy playing Fortnite to go to a candy shop, anyways.
All they're gonna do is have a Fortnite
Uber
skin.
Eats deliver it.
Right? No. You gotta go to the candy shop and buy candy to get a Fortnite skin. There it is.
Oh,
man.
dude, if anybody ever went to Epic with that kind of promotion, let me buy stock in that right now.
Right? I'm over here. Look at me. I'm over here being a marketer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Somebody's going to make a ton of money off of your idea, and you're going to make nothing off of it. Congratulations.
Right? I'm amazing.
You and your big mouth.
Yeah. Okay. We're about to end the show. I got one last question for Stax. Stax, if people are, RLCS LAN has been announced at LAN Vegas. It's going to be a party there. Are you going to be partying at LAN Vegas with the rest of us?
Partying, absolutely. The other Rival Series guys and some of the RLCS guys think they're going to get me drunk at LAN Vegas. It is not going to happen. They can try all they want, but I will absolutely be there 1,000%. Come hell or high water, and yeah, I cannot wait. I've never been to Vegas before. I've only been able to look out the plane window and see it all lit up at night as we go by, and you see it from that distance, and you go, man, I wish I could just spend a day there. Yeah. Probably then you spend a day there, and you're like, man, I wish I still had my money.
Well, as someone who went to Vegas, because remember I went to Vegas to observe that show match that everyone roasted me on.
Yeah, camera shake.
Yeah. I mean, one game, and you get roasted on Twitter.
It was cloud fuel too.
I know. I looked at him and I was like, I messaged him and I was like, yo, this is me. He's like, oh, I didn't know it was you. Oh,
he
my
sent
bad.
that tweet out. We're all in TeamSpeak. We go, oh man, rip Daz.
He was like, what? I could just see him like, what? Oh fuck! Oh god, I love him though. And I mean, it was just weird though because I didn't notice it. Like I'm watching the gameplay, and I ran it like so many different tests before like the broadcaster came on, and it wasn't shaking. It wasn't shaking, Stax. Then the broadcast comes over, it was like camera shakes. So I'm like, what? I was like,
yeah, but you know what? Here's how you know it's not your fault, right? I know that Psyonix, they send all these tournament organizers a document or like a bunch of PDF files that show, hey, these are what the settings should be for this, and this. Every option menu, they've got it all listed out.
Oh yeah.
So the people you were working for, they didn't do their jobs. You're off the hook.
Well, funny story about that. So
I tried.
Here's another interesting one about my esports career. So Esports Arena, Corey had reached out to me a while ago about it, but I had never heard anything since. Then next thing I know, on a Wednesday, they're like, "Hey, we're doing our grand opening this weekend. Can you fly here today?" And I was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah." No, it was Thursday. Yeah. Can you how fast can you fly here? I was like, I guess I can fly today. They're like, okay, cool. I'm gonna book you a flight 2 hours from now. Run to the airport. I was like, okay. So I ran to the airport and I had a flight to Vegas, and like they had spent like almost $1,000 on the flight, kicked somebody else off the flight just so I could go to Vegas. Man, I still don't necessarily understand how rates work because I definitely undersold myself. If I knew better, I would have made so much money. But
an agent, bruh.
Yeah, I know, right?
I do not have one, by the way.
Right. Yeah, I'll have to figure life out at some point. But flew in. They were like, "Oh my God, thank you! You're a lifesaver. You came in last minute. Here you go. All you can eat at the buffet. That buffet was dope. Oh my God, best buffet ever. We were at the Luxor.
Vegas buffet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
We were at the Luxor, so it's the pyramid, like with the light shooting out. It was that one, and they had the esports thing on there. And I was talking to some old lady, and I was like, "You see that? I'm here for that." And I was so happy. I was so happy.
That is so Daz too. You see that? I'm there for that.
I got there and I was like, I didn't understand that I would be in a pyramid. Like I geeked out. I called Jorby and I was like, Jorby. He's like,
right now.
He's like, what, Daz? He's like, I'm talking to you in a pyramid, bro. Like, I see this in the chat. I was like, I'm in a pyramid, bro. Oh my God. I was like losing my mind. I'm like, this is nuts. Cause like, the elevators were like slanted and the room was slanted. I was like, what? Carpet had took me out gambling after the broadcast, and that was my first time ever gambling. I mean, what way to do it than at a Vegas casino? And that was fun. So that's why hopefully me and him get to do that again during this LAN. But yeah, you're going to love Vegas. It's a good time. Don't stay out too late, and don't look at women in the eyes long enough. I had an experience with that I won't share for the broadcast, but don't look after, I want to say after like 2 a.m. If you're still out, do not look women in the eye for more than a second, because they think that's something, and they will come and they will try to buddy you and talk. Okay. Thanks, guys. This has been Discussions with Daz today. You can find Stax on Twitter at StaxRL. Follow him, give him all the love. I need more Stax appreciation threads because I appreciate Stax. Longtime friend of mine, and it's just been great to see his esports career come up to this point. Stax, thank you for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having me on here, man.
Oh, man. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Dazerin for more discussions. Also, make sure to subscribe, Areno, to my YouTube because I need more subs so I can actually like profit off of my YouTube. So that would be great.
Sell out.
Yep. Just like and subscribe, or just share it. Honestly, I kind of want more people to watch discussions. I'm gonna start like clipping some of these like episodes and putting them on Twitter because there's a lot of stuff that goes on here that a lot of people don't really sit through and understand. So we'll get more eyes on discussion episodes in the future for people who are subscribing to me. Actually, everybody, if you're in chat, don't go anywhere. I have something cool that I'm going to announce. But for subscribers, if you do subscribe to me, there will be something in the sub Discord where you guys get to ask guest questions that will possibly be put on stream. That'll be for subs only. We'll make that happen. I'll put it on Twitter later. But for everyone in chat today, so guys, I got reached out to by this developer. The developer is called VRGen. They're a small studio in Toronto trying to branch out and make awesome original video games. The company's headed by a husband and wife team. They're really passionate about creating good experiences for gamers. And they have sent me a playtest for their game called Mecha League Smash. So I'm going to share this link for you guys in chat if you're all there. And that's going to take you to like this page for you to fill out. It has a video of gameplay of the game. It kind of reminds me of Disc Jam a little bit, but with their own like little twist on them. This is an invitation to the alpha test. This game is still heavily in development, and they need people to play test and help figure out bugs and just how to improve their game in the future. If you, again, everyone who participates in this playtest will receive a free copy of the game when it comes out in launch. And I'll be sharing this more and more on our streams in the future. But I want to give a big shout out to those guys for reaching out to me and sending me this like invite to send to you guys. So thanks for that. And yeah, we'll be sharing more of that in future streams. But alas, that's it. That's all. This has been Discussions with Daz. Stax, you're wonderful. Again, I can't hype you up enough. Thank you so much. And yeah, guys, stay tuned for the next one. There will be one soon. You all have a good rest of your day.